Welcome back to the Forex Fortress. I've just had a nice little workout myself, and it's back to charts, babies. And there's actually plenty to talk about. I want to be following up on yesterday's more long-term analysis as we looked at all the big weekly closures for all the major US dollar pairings, which was likely going to lead into continuation this week. So let's see how that happens. And as always, we'll start it off with good old Dixie, and we'll do a little bit of Bitcoin action in just the moments to come as well as I check over my other screen. Okay, good over there. So let's get into it right on over here. So yes, Dixie coming down to that same area that we spoke about. We've had marked off for quite some time now, and while it is technically on there right now at about 92 and a quarter, actually currently hovering a little bit above there, this is weekly, of course. So at the end of the day, I am only looking for weekly closures within this region, and I still do look at this as potentially a long-term bottoming out area. And so far, yes, technically it is kind of catching its breath right here, but that doesn't really mean much. What we're looking at is on a weekly, of course, and this is essentially like a cautionary area, and I would imagine that we probably will get a few wicks down a little bit lower. Maybe even a little bit below 92 bucks even. But the big news is, or the big thing here would be that as long as we don't get any closures lower, I still do look at this potentially a macro bottoming area. But when we look at all the major US dollar pairings here, that can very easily be undone. So with that said, let's actually go down to the very low term timeframes. I'm curious if there's anything of interest right now. And yeah, on the very short term timeframes, I imagine we have actually no divergences here. No, nothing actually momentum trying to turn back up, it looks like. But what I'd essentially be looking for is essentially a side within a range between about 92 and a quarter and about 92 and a half. So with that in mind, I don't really have any like specific bias on this. I'd just be looking for more or less rangy behavior, while all of the major US dollar pairings, well, essentially I'd be looking for continuation here and based off of last week's closures. And again, to kind of follow up on this one, we did close above the weekly 200, well, actually the exponential and the 200 simple moving average right here on Aussie dollar, which was going to trigger a target towards about 73.5 cents, which we've almost already hit actually, just getting right below that 73.40. However, I would extend this over time towards about a little bit north of 74 cents region, and then I want to come back to it. So yes, we are seeing that one follow through on the very short-term timeframes right here. Yeah, I'd essentially be looking for this to maybe spike again, once again, up towards like 73.5, short-term pullback from there, and then extension towards the next target a little bit above 74 cents, maybe sometime this week. All right, moving on. What do we got next? We got CAD dollar, my other favorite shitcoin within this whole list. And what do we see here on the weekly? We did see it close quite significantly and comfortably above the 200 exponential average right here. That was going to initiate a short-term target up to about 77 cents. We've already hit that and exceeded that. And the next one represented by this horizontal right here, just around 77.5 region. And I imagine on the very short-term time frame, it's just looking like continuation here. So yeah, I do think that it has, or sorry, I do look at this as more or less bullish on the short-term, medium-term, and higher-term time frames, all looking like they want a little bit more again towards about 77.5, and then probably pull back from there. Swiss franc dollar, one of the more strong ones, and whoa, hey, that's not strong. Hey, you're not supposed to do that. What the fuck are you doing over there, Swiss franc dollar? Yeah, a little bit of a bullish pullback right there, or a bullish dump. No, all jokes aside though, I actually would be looking for it to likely catch its footing either where we are right now, or if this area does fail, look somewhere down around the 10 simple, right around 109.5 region, and bounce from there. I'd actually still be bullish on this one long term. I do think that this one is essentially a little bit of a washout for the short term time frames and getting ready for another test back onto the upside. But yes, the weekly is very interesting here, because if this one does start to reverse, that's what we would expect to happen if Dixie is going to put in a major macro bottom within this low $92 region as well. So to keep a keen eye on this one, because it has been one of the more strong ones on the way up, so it should be a good indication of whether we're going to be topping out or not. And all of this is just a little bit of a swing failure pattern kind of in motion as it is right now. And I'll spoil the surprise on Bitcoin. That's essentially what I'm thinking is going on right now there too. Anyways, moving on to Euro pound. What do we got? I think I was saying yesterday, or sorry, not yesterday, but on Friday, short-term move back up towards about 91 cents, I think it was. And we have not gotten that target, actually. Let's see what the low-term time frames say. Low-term time frames say, Crown, you are wrong AF. Well, I wouldn't say that just yet. No, I would still look for the daily to probably pull through sometime this week back up towards about 91 cents its region, and then I want to see it again after that. So yes, I'd still be more medium term bullish on this one. Short term, this one's all sorts of floatiness and silliness going on right here. In fact, if anything, on short term, it is actually a little more on the bearish side, and perhaps I would have a short term target back down around this low on the 6th of November, somewhere around a little bit under 90 cents, we'll call it. And then I'd be looking for a bounce there, perhaps. So short-term bearish, medium and long-term, I would still give it the nod here and look for a test up towards about 91 cents, and I want to come back to it after that. Moving on, what do we got next? We got euro dollar, my favorite one to absolutely fucking hate right now. I really despise this one. And yes, we did get the critical weekly closure above, or actually no, we did not get above 119, but still within this territory right here, I would be looking for it to spike up a little bit higher, probably somewhere around 119.5 region, and then I'll be looking for short-term and medium-term pullbacks. Looking at the 4 hour right here, looks to me like it does want to try a little bit higher, perhaps. Momentum oscillator is suggesting a little bit of caution here, but I do think that we have one more drive to the upside and then play at a pullback. Again, tentatively speaking, somewhere around about 119.5, and then I want to see it after that. Do we have any sort of divergences going on right here? Technically, yes, but I don't think that that one actually is going to be the one to play out. Usually these ones don't give all that much to begin with anyways. Moving on to my favorite shitcoin, my absolute favorite Forex shitcoin to trade once again, and that is yen, pound yen. And what do we see here? We actually didn't see any sort of significant weekly closure. In fact, if anything, I would have been bearish on this last week, so I'm going to definitely be wrong about that. However, I would be looking for a bit of a pullback, at least short-term and medium-term based upon this area right here, probably somewhere back down a little bit below 138, somewhere right around about 137 and 3/4, we'll call it. However, this one, I actually would be looking for it to try a little bit more upside over time. Again, long-term, it is incredibly heavily bearish. But I mean, you know, again, for reference here, I can go all the way back up to about 141 or 142 and still maintain that extremely bad posturing long term. So I do look at this one as still long term and macro, extremely bearish, but short term and medium term, or sorry, short term probably does pull back. Medium term actually would be looking for that pullback to likely try again to the upside, again, somewhere within this region right here. And still got a lot of time to be waiting on this one. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to pound dollar. And yeah, I mean, hold on. I just want to go back to your once again. Yeah, because if I saw that closure last weekend, I would have been really fucking bearish on that, actually looking for a move back down to about 133.25. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be wrong about that one. So fair enough, you pound yen shitcoin. But to be fair, I never do trade these things on the high term time frames, hourly and less, man. I want to be in and out of this thing as fast as possible. It is such a goddamn piece of garbage. Anyways, on to pound dollar. What do we see here? We actually are brushing up against the macro area. In fact, I just realized that since I am on linear scale, which is actually more appropriate for Forex land, I would be extending that a little bit more. So yes, we do have a little more airtime here. We also did get the critical weekly closure above the 200 exponential moving average, which did initiate continuation, and I would actually still be looking at about 132.70. Let's go to the very low term time frames here. Yeah, it looks like it wants to give another. Yeah, it does look like actually on the short term time frames it wants to reach for that region as well. But again, long term, that is your top area. So I'm very cautious within this region. It's kind of reminiscent of Bitcoin. It's like short term, medium term. Yeah, I kind of want to be bullish here, but caution on the higher term time frames once again. Moving on to yen dollar, what do we have? Ooh, this is very strange. So yen dollar and Swiss franc dollar were two of the more strong ones, as far as major US dollar pairings go, and both of those are having complete fucking collapses today, which is incredibly interesting to me because all of the typically or traditionally weaker ones are actually having some nice rallies and looks like they do want to continue. Now, to be fair, they are just coming down to your most preliminary supports, and I would be looking for a bounce off this region regardless of whether I'm bullish or bearish. Short term back up towards about 95.65 region, maybe 95.69 because it's a better number. But is this a washout here with continuation implied to the downside, or is this just one of those bullish dumps? First and foremost, I'd want to see it bounce here, which I do think that it will. Like I said, back up around 90. Well, what exactly was it? Was I doing that on the 4 hour? Yeah, I think it was doing it on the 4 hour. Probably back around about 95. Hold on. That does not make sense. It must have been on the weekly. Yeah, it was on the weekly. 95.69, yeah, exactly. Short term, but I'd still hold reservation on it long term. I do still run with the former assumption that actually it is bullish here, and momentum oscillators still do agree with that for what it's worth as it is right now. But if this area does fail, I would look for an extension all the way down to about 94.50-ish region, so it can get quite nasty here, and things will likely to be decided right around the 4 hour 200 moving average right here. So as long as that does hold, I do still go with the former assumption that, short term, medium term, and in long term it is still bullish. Short term, no matter what, I'm kind of looking for a bounce here regardless. It's more or less going to set in the buys for the long term actually on this one. So keep an eye on this area. But for now, bounce in progress. Moving on to Nasdaq, I want to follow up on this one as well. Holy fucking moly, we got into one of those bullish dumps. Very similar to what we see on Bitcoin actually, which I don't want to spoil a surprise there just yet. But I would still be looking for this one well, no, we already retested the prior high essentially. How high did we get there? How high are we? 12,400-ish region over here. Closure 12,400 as well. So basically did retest the prior all-time high. I'd still be looking for new all-time highs on this, but for right now, does it play out a short-term pullback further than what we've already seen? I don't know here, actually. This actually will have a little bit of hidden bullish divergence, so I would be looking for another swipe back up towards the 12.4 region. What does the daily look like? Daily still looks good. I do think that this one will still make new all-time highs over time, yes. Moving on, what do we got after that? We got some gold action. Ooh, gold coming down really fucking hard right there. Holy shit. So we did hit our target at 1960 last week. This is a complete failure, though. I mean, this is wow, that is very likely to be a continuation to the downside. Targets towards 1800 would be initiated with any sort of a closure here or lower. I mean, this looks actually phenomenally bad. Here's what silver looks like as well. Actually, I just want to just check this one really briefly. Someone was asking about this earlier, and we did say a little bit of downside here. I want to just follow up on this. Oh, nice. Hey, there you go. I don't know if I think his name was Sarthuk in the Discord. We did say a target of about $95. Hey, there you go. Exceeded it by a little bit more. Nice call on that play, my friend. Nice call on that play. Hopefully you took the glory on that one because it's looking pretty damn good in your favor. So this is very, very interesting right here. Let's get on to Bitcoin now, because Bitcoin did close above the critical area that I outlined for this morning's video. And to be 100% direct, I actually do still think that Bitcoin will travel its way back above $16,000, but I would be looking for it to kind of play within this region a little bit more. If it does want to have another stint to the downside, tentatively be looking somewhere around about 14.9 to 15,000 even. But my main disposition here is yes, actually I would be looking for this one to continue upwards towards that next proverbial target, somewhere around 16.2 to 16.4-ish region, and that's likely where we play out the greater pullback if I had to guess right now. As it is right now, are we seeing any more downside pressure like immediately on the short-term time frames? We are seeing 4-hour Stokes getting a little bit tired right there. We actually do officially see them cross the downside with a closure below the 21, right around 15.2. I would be looking for extension down towards about 14.9, but I would be looking for a bounce there. I'm not bearish on this one just yet. I think it's time to be cautious. I do think that it's time to be a little bit more steady with it, but short-term, I actually do think that it probably pulls through here. At the very least, trades sideways, and that should lead us into tomorrow. Just want to check if there's anything else that I'm missing right now. I want to check out that 12-hour jewel sell signal. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say that this one's playing out. Again, I think that this one actually does curl back around for like an actual perfect sell signal. I don't think it's there just yet. It's very fucking close. If we go look at, let's go reference CMEs right here too. Where are they? I'm losing my voice right now. God damn it. This is not the time to be losing my voice. Anyways, looking at the 12-hour right here, do we see the same sort of thing going on? It's fucking close, man. It's super fucking close. This one would look like it has more downside here too, to be fair. You know what? Am I wrong about all of this? Am I wrong? Is Crown wrong about all of this? And actually, we're going to be heading down sooner rather than later. I'd still be going range by range here. I don't really see any real reason to get too uppity about any of this price action, which has yet to break even the short-term range, to be fair, to the downside, which was 15.1 so far, actually just bouncing significantly off of it. And again, if it does break it, which it actually does, the way it wants to break it, I would be extend this move down somewhere towards around 14 at 9-ish region. I would be looking for a bounce there. Again, I just don't really get bearish in this immediately from this whole formation, as long as we're above about 14.7 pivot. Below 14.7 pivot, yeah, we can talk about a greater pullback on the higher term timeframes. But for now, I actually do think that it's more or less a bit of a washout here, especially when we go match it up with Nasdaq as well, which looks to be like it does want to reclaim that dumpity dump. In fact, just going back to it right here, right now, just want to show that very quickly. You know, it was a pretty significant dump, yes, but mostly bought up almost fully already. So I do think that it likely gets another swipe to the upside. Then we get the actual play. But hey, if I'm wrong wrong on that one, you will know that I'm wrong, not by breaking 15.1, but by breaking 14, we could call it 14.7. You know, is there going to be a faster way of doing this one as well for actual direction? I suppose if I had to, I could use 14.850 as well on a 2-hour delta closure, but I don't feel as confident with that. I think the 4 hour still gets this one more or less properly, and in the magical number 14.7 still. So I'd essentially be looking for it to trade a little bit more sideways within this region and then give another try to the upside. I only switch around and if and when we actually do break 14.7 to the downside, then I start targeting moves down towards about 14,000 bucks and below over time. But like I said, you know, based off the weekly closure and what we spoke about in this morning's video, I do think that it likely gives another try to the upside here sometime during this week, and then we come back to it after that and re-analysize it. So with that said, I'd like to wish you the best once again. Take care, and until next time.